Welcome to the Groomer next door. You're listening to my mommy and daddy.
And now our feature presentation.
Alright, we need to make sure we give a shout out to Squarespace. Squarespace is an amazing website that has helped us set up our website.
It has been the easiest transition to build your own website. It took me all of 3 days, and that's not 3 days of pulling out my hair. It's 3 days, probably 2-3 hours at most per day.
It was easy to write in bios, to add pictures. It's a great website, and thanks to them, since we are nonprofit and we're trying to spread word about proper health of pets, they sponsor us. So we want to make sure everybody knows, if you want to go and set up a web page for family, for business, for just fun and games, visit Squarespace first.
Yeah, go to squarespace.com, go for the 14-day trial. I guarantee by the 4th day of having your trial, you'll actually sign up. And it's a simple $7.99 a month. I mean, really, it's the same price as Netflix until Netflix goes up on their price in a couple days.
Exactly.
So, anyway, if you want to take a look at our page, we're thegroomernextdoor.squarespace.com. You'll kind of get a good idea of what we've done. Take a look at our photos, as Sarah mentioned, our blog, and upcoming events. Again, that's squarespace.com. Hello, and welcome to episode 29 of The Groomer Next Door. I'm your co-host, Chris Green. Sitting next to me is Sarah.
Hello.
And we have a special guest, Claire.
Hi.
All right. Well, today's episode is going to be about horses. And we went looking for an actual special guest, somebody knowledgeable, somebody who had spent time with horses, and we couldn't find anybody. So we just settled for this girl. She just wandered off the street. Her name's Elizabeth, and I'm gonna let you take it from here. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, Chris. It's nice to meet you too. Well, I'm not a professional. I can't say that I've been around horses my whole life, but I have spent quite a bit of time with them.
Very interesting.
Wow.
Thank you, Sarah.
You've just helped my cause of what I said.
Can we start over?
Nope.
Anyway, well, where do I start? What do you want me to?
Well,
What
what got
questions here?
you into dealing with horses?
When I first, the first time I started to ride and really have anything to do with horses was when I was in middle school and I went to a riding academy.
She's not used to a mic, everybody.
Sorry, guys. Just want to make sure you can hear me. Anyway, I went to a riding academy where there I was taught how to properly groom and saddle and ride and all of those things. So
Very interesting.
and then after that, I had a lot more experience when I started going to this church in California, Mountainside Ministries. They have a very, very nice horse program.
Was it on the side of a mountain?
It actually was.
Oh, okay.
The whole church?
The whole church, just right on the side of the mountain.
Okay, I was just wondering if it was dangling off the side.
The rock slide for the pool was pretty great too. Just
Wow.
right off the mountain.
Cool.
Must have been in Malibu?
Yep.
All right.
You guys know that? Did you guys see that awesome slide in Japan, or some place where it's like literally on the side of the mountain? And it
No.
goes right into the ocean. Well, it's awesome. I'm gonna go there. Anyway.
I know there's one in Kansas City, the largest one in the world, I think. I don't know. Go on. So you went to this mountainside monk retreat to become a monk.
Yes, exactly. And
Did you take a vow of silence?
Obviously not.
obviously not. Absolutely not. I would probably die. Hence the reason why you wanted me to do this episode, because you know I could talk very long-winded. Anyway.
Sorry, we got a little interruption with the baby.
Hi, Claire.
Hi, Claire. What can I help you with?
Where's your iPad?
I think it's on the bed.
As you can tell, folks, we're again in our garage studio, and again, Well, we're being
Parenting
interrupted.
never stops.
It really doesn't. So that's the next topic, maybe.
This is very entertaining for me. I'm enjoying
And
it.
she's not alone in the house, though, by the way, folks. It's not like we're saying, here, go play the video game.
You're
We're
terrible
going to be
parents.
outside.
Terrible parents, both of you.
You know what? Go back to talking about being a monk. We
And
want to hear
these-
about you becoming a horseback
Poor
expert.
people are listening to us rant.
They're
Let's
not
get
gonna-
back to the horses.
Poor
So,
people.
Or at least the monk
Thank
part.
you for still listening if you haven't turned it off
No,
yet.
they haven't.
Anyway,
We're entertaining.
we are. I love it.
No, we.
I was talking about me and Sarah.
28 episodes, you won.
I was talking
We.
about Sarah and I.
Okay, go
Obviously,
ahead.
it's not entertaining because I don't watch them or listen to them, whatever.
Watch. I had to explain. I have had to explain to her what a podcast is. Please, tell us how old you are.
I'm 20 years old.
And she doesn't know what a podcast is.
I'm sorry, I've spent my whole life with my face in the computer. I've been outside doing things with real people.
He doesn't
Unlike
think
Chris.
much of us since we got the clip-on mics and he's got the real fancy
He has,
mic.
you know, think of back in the day with those old movies where the announcer guy is speaking into this ridiculous microphone that's like 10 feet wide. Yeah, well, that's what Chris has right now in front of his face.
Yes, I do. I have the professional mic, and they have clip-on mics.
So that's
Carry
why
on.
you can hear him better than you can hear
Okay,
us.
I would be wearing a clip-on mic too, but I don't have a 3-prong jack.
Oh, sure. Nice excuse. Anyway.
There's a 5-way jack at...
I would have bought it. But I didn't want to spend $15 today.
Anywho, okay, so...
Welcome to our
you
podcast.
started, and you went to the church and started...
When I started going to the church, I also was attending school there. And they have the horse program that they have, I became
Monk
very
ministry.
involved in. As far as, yes, with the monks. As far as the riding goes, I rode just about every single day, but there I learned so much about it, and I learned that by doing really is the best way to learn with horses, but also I learned that they're not just like packing mules as some people think they are. They're not just used for riding, they're not just dumb and...
As Chris likes to put it, large goldfish.
Yes, they're not large goldfish.
Oversized goldfish.
Why are they goldfish, Chris?
I don't know. That's just what I was told when I was younger, and it stuck with me. Actually, okay, I had a friend back in California. She lived in Norco, which you would know where Norco is.
Yeah.
Okay. She had 2 giant-sized horses in her backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Her backyard was not big. It was big enough for a pool, and you had 2 horses.
Like Belgian horses, or
I don't know. There are big horses. I don't know what to call them.
That's
even more oversized goldfish.
Exactly. Well, they would get in the pool every so often.
That's awesome.
Well, that was a riveting story.
Can we go back to what they care about now?
See, when we all hang out, it's just asinine. This is...
I knew this was going to be a bad idea because I knew we weren't going to get anywhere. Chris and I were going to rant and rave at each other like we always do. We are not friends, by the way. We're friends by default because
No, there's no
Sarah and
default
I-
here. There is no
Sarah
default.
and I are friends, so Chris and I have to be friends.
I had to
otherwise-
live with this
So,
girl a few years ago.
as-
Trust me, it was bad enough.
As you started learning more and more about the horses, is that when you started feeling like, I really want to...
I
you know,
really just enjoyed being around them. I mean, something relaxing for me is to go ride my horse, just take off into the mountains and ride, and it's something that I always, I would have never thought would be what I wanted to do. I'd rather like watch TV or play video games like Chris maybe, but
Hey. Red Dead Redemption, I got to ride a horse in that game.
oh,
It was awesome.
I'm sure it was. Your thumbs must have been thrilled.
So what's one of the number one things that people need to know when dealing with any kind of horse or...
You really, honestly, safety around horses is the very first thing you should ever learn, but you shouldn't be afraid, but you should always be cautious and be aware of what they're capable of. Because sometimes people forget that they're by, 1,000, or however much they weigh, 1,000 pounds, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, she's blonde, just to let you know.
Anyway, they're around something that weighs that much, and it's so powerful that it really can just kill you with a kick. So you have to be careful, but don't be overcautious because then you miss out on a lot of things.
Okay, so step 1, what is the first thing you learned?
It hurts really bad when you get thrown off a horse. That's what I learned. But
No
also,
way.
then
I would never guess that.
I know I was shocked.
Again, blonde.
Always wear a helmet if you're trying to break a horse. It's just good to wear a helmet.
What does breaking mean?
There's two different ways to describe it. One is to actually, when you're actually breaking a horse, you're
taming it.
taming them.
Don't worry, folks. She's wearing a helmet as we're speaking.
Yes.
It's a pretty neat helmet, by the way.
It really is.
Thank you.
I really was happy. I was
appreciate
happy that the short bus was able to drop her off.
And she spelled her name almost correct.
Oh.
I did?
Well.
Anyway.
Claire helped.
That's why my handwriting was so nice.
Most improved handwriting.
Yes. Service award goes to...
Oh, you. Always.
Sorry, guys. We had some... Anyway. Where were we? What was I talking about?
You're talking about breaking a horse.
Okay, so... once you break them to the point where you can get a saddle on them and actually mount up the horse... Shut up, Chris. There's the next step is to be able to, teach them. You have to be able to teach them what commands are and what to do with your feet. You know, if you properly train a horse, you can guide them along with your feet by pushing on their sides. And then there's different ways to train them with the reins. You can either, it's called plow. By plow, it is when you pull the reins from the mouth.
Okay.
All right. Well, okay. Well, you know what? A lot of the people who actually I know of that listen to this show, they have horses, so they know how to pretty much break a horse.
Yeah.
Here's the question: is grooming?
Yeah, that's an easier subject to kind of explain.
Why don't you tell us about the tools that are used? Tell us about what you have to do. You told me a foamy stories that I was just like, what?
Oh, that's well.
You'll get to it.
I'll get to it. It's very important to groom your horses before and after riding. It's most important to pick their hooves, especially if they're shoes. You should have, of course, if you're riding, you should have shoes on your horse. But it's mostly important to pick their feet and you use like a curry brush and get the dirt and the loose hair off of them, and then a soft brush. And this way, when you put on the saddle blanket and the saddle, they don't have. It's just more comfortable for them, and
it's better than having loose hair rubbed against,
right? And
dirt and stuff like that.
So it's just more like a comfort thing. And after riding, it's very important to warm your horse up, and then if you're going to be galloping, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But it's always very important to walk first. Don't just take off with your horse, and you can end up laming them if you do that. And then when you're done, you need to walk them and cool them down. Same for people. You should warm up and cool down.
Yeah, see, that's not very common in knowledge-wise. I mean, I knew that, but I also have been around horses myself. But it is important to make sure that you get them ready, you get them going, you do what you're ready to do, and then you cool them down. I mean, professional athletes do the same thing. When they're done skating, they go and they do cool downs.
Yeah, well, actually,
because you can't let your muscles get tight.
Yeah, what you do is you do a little bit of stretching before you get your uniform on, your gear on. Then you do your warm up. Then after the game, you go in the locker room and weight room.
Chris's favorite place.
You know what?
Ooh la la. So.
Actually, that was the worst time when you see everybody walking around with no clothes on. That was the worst time. True story there.
For maybe others, but you maybe not.
You know what? Don't even start.
Okay.
I didn't have rainbow colors on my helmet. Okay.
It could have fooled me. So now, when grooming, I know we spoke about this a little bit earlier. You were talking about hooves and making sure they're shoed. Now, how do you properly take care of hooves in general, just specifically hooves?
Well, generally you have a horse shoer that would come and take care of them. You should have them. We usually had one come about every 3 months, but that was because our horses were used every day for multiple rides. So one thing that's really important is to make sure that you keep their hoofs trimmed, because they can end up cracking and in turn, ruin their hoofs. They do have, I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but it's something that you can, it's almost like you paint it over their hooves and it seals it and it prevents them from peeling and cracking. Because they're like toenails, really, is what their hooves are like. They're just really strong toenails. And not all
And they
horses,
grow as such.
Yes. And not all horses need shoes, but a lot of them do. There's some that don't because of the way their feet, the way their hooves are, and I don't know exactly all about that, but I just know that it's very important to take good care of their feet, because they rely on them like we do.
Well, yeah, and horses don't just sit down whenever they feel like it. It's not like they relax in the sun and can get off their feet. No, they're
Right.
on their hooves all
the time.
day. It's very rare to see a horse sitting down or laying down.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's very entertaining to watch them roll around in the dirt, actually.
I've had a friend who has a horse, and she says she has to stay with him while he dries from being bathed.
Because they will roll in the dirt, and it's hilarious. It really is. I mean, you don't want them to do that, because then they just get mud everywhere, and you're gonna have to wash them again. But it's quite entertaining to watch.
That would be frustrating. You're washing this ginormous goldfish. And
which you would think, because it's in the water all the time, you wouldn't really need to wash it, but
stuff happens. Okay, so you were telling me something kind of interesting earlier too about how to start bathing a horse. It's important to start a certain way.
It is important, because just as we like to, some people like to get in the pool slowly, we like to step in and slowly get used to the water. It's rather than have, say a bucket of water thrown on you. It's shocking and it's cold, right? So you start at their feet and you work your way up with the hose, and you go around their sides before you put it directly on their back. And you should never spray them in the face. They don't like it. Some horses love the water, but other horses don't, and they'll be more prone to hate being bathed because they've had a bad experience with it. So it's good to just let them get used to the water, bathe them slowly, and then just wash them down really good, clean all of their whole body, clean it off.
Are you even talking about their tail? And
underneath their tail. And everything needs to be cleaned, because
I have a question. I do have a question on that.
Is it relevant to the story?
It is relevant. How often, when you lift the tail, is there poop around the?
Actually, that doesn't really happen much.
In the hair, in the tail itself?
No, because they move their tails.
Have you ever seen a horse poop?
I have, but I've always wondered if maybe they projectile, maybe they have a projectile, they're just, all in there. I mean, how many times do we see a dog with it? So.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just thinking all the time.
I've actually never really seen that. I'm sure it happens, but I've just never had a problem with it.
What about anal glands? Do you ever squeeze them?
Nope. I know you like doing that all the time, though.
I do, actually. It is quite entertaining.
I'm sure it is.
So the term, you have to pee like a racehorse, is that true?
It really is, because when a horse, and it's kind of funny too, because it's a train reaction every time. You have a line, 12 horses going in a line. One of them has to stop and pee, and it smells like rotten Mountain Dew. But they all do it, and they just pee for like 20 minutes. It's ridiculous. But then they all do it, and it's just, really, guys? All right. So
Rotten Mountain Dew. I wonder if we have anybody who's listening to this right now with a can of Mountain Dew next to them.
I know many people that
going,
love
great,
Mountain Dew.
Thanks a lot. Who is this person?
Why am I listening to her?
Why? She is so not knowledgeable.
I agree.
Hey, I told you folks.
I said from the beginning that I do not have all the knowledge. I don't even know why they want me here, really. But
well, you have more than most, and that's the unique part.
It's one thing. It's like I said at the beginning. It's really hard to learn any other way than by doing, and it's hard to explain things over like a podcast, for instance, because generally you show how you do something, and it's kind of hard to put it all into words. But going back to the beginning, safety is the most important thing. It's just to be aware of what the horse is capable of, to always make sure that they know that you're there. If you're walking around them, stay close to them and keep your hands on them so they know where you are and you're not going to scare them. Because that's usually why if they kick or do something like that, generally it's because they've been aggravated or because they are frightened. You should never scream or yell, because that also frightens them. And they are very perceptive on your emotions and feelings, because if you're nervous, they're going to be nervous. And the more calm you are, the more calm they're going to be. I've had many experiences with people that just were too scared, too nervous, and they weren't listening or weren't paying attention to what they were told to do, and ended up getting hurt in the long run, or hurting someone else around them because they couldn't overcome the fear enough to do what they needed to do.
In a smaller scale, it's kind of like with dogs. When you're walking them on a leash and you're real tense, you're real nervous, the dog's going to feel it too.
Yes.
And if you're calm and relaxed, that emotion travels through the leash, and it travels through the reins for horses.
Right. And just a lot of animals are like, have things that are the same as that we do. It's like
Not like you though. There's no animal like you.
I'm one of a kind.
Yep.
But dogs can pick up on your emotions and feelings too. They can sense when you're sad. Mm-hmm. Horses can feel what you feel, because I just learned this because every time, if you're upset or if you're anxious, the horse is going to be anxious. And I just noticed that with everybody that I've done 1,000 rides with people, and it's just some people do really well because they're willing to listen and take the chance to and trust the person that knows what they're doing. Other people, they're too afraid and they can't do anything but just hold onto the horn and shake it and end up having to be ponied along. So what that means is you take the lead rope off of their horse and you hold it and they walk behind you. So they don't have to control the horse themselves anymore.
That's just lazy. Oh, I'm just going to sit back here while someone else controls the horse.
So what you're saying is that you sit on a horse and somebody else controls it.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Oh.
Did you ever go to Griffith Park in Los Angeles as a kid?
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember the horse riding area?
Yeah.
Then you can get on a horse and somebody pulls you around?
Somebody pulls you around.
Yeah, I love that. I didn't know you actually went to that.
Actually, you gave Claire her first pony ride.
Yep.
Over at Landmark Baptist. We had that carnival.
You actually have memory that far back?
Very funny.
It was like 3 years ago. No, 4 years ago. You really can remember that far?
Claire was about 3. Two or 3.
She was about 2.
Little. And she really wanted to ride the horse, and yet...
Not even 2, I don't think.
I don't know. Anywho, we didn't want her to ride the horse by herself, and
obviously,
the guy who was handling him didn't seem to be very competent. I was a little nervous by him.
He was a carny type person, that's for sure. Of course, Elizabeth got his number.
So Elizabeth got up, and she was only like 16 at the time. Jumped up on that horse, got Claire up there, and Claire was able to have her little horsey ride, and that was, I think that's the highlight of her entire summer at that time.
Maybe that's why she likes her.
Maybe.
I can't figure it out.
I can't figure it out either.
It might be the fact that you let Claire climb all over you.
I've raised 9 kids. What do you want from me? Not my own.
She has raised 9 kids, everybody.
Not my children.
Oh,
my
come
siblings
on.
And my cousins.
Come on. Don't.
After the third, they just walk out.
They did. She's like a vending machine.
Insert here.
put a dollar.
You guys are terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Hey, you're the one who said you had 9 kids.
Yes, Chris, that's what I said.
Okay, so.
Such a good listener.
I am. I won the best listener of the award. Yay!
Best graduation ceremony I've ever been to.
Me too.
Sarah was so entertained. She was playing games on her iPad.
Thanks.
But she was yelling at me and Chris every time we said or did anything.
Because you guys were loud.
Oh my gosh.
We had the valedictorian parents sitting in front of us.
Oh my gosh. There were 2 kids that graduated high school. 2.
Either way.
Anyways.
And there was only 3 kids out of the entire school who got awards.
Well, what sucked was sitting there for so long, and Claire was a 3-second, hey, I got an award, and sat down.
Yes, for most improved. She should have won every award for her preschool class.
And in elementary school, too.
Yeah, probably. Should have won those, too. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Rant over? Next off would
I don't know.
be-
I think she's distracted.
I think that if Chris would have gotten at least one award in his lifetime, he wouldn't be trying to live it out through Claire.
Hey, I
Right.
won lots of awards over my years.
The ones that Claire write to you aren't the same.
Yeah.
Hey, just because I don't have the trophies to prove anymore does not mean anything,
Okay,
and that's another story.
Back to the horse and grooming the horses. What do you do to their mane and tails?
Really, you could just use a regular people brush, one that's sturdier, I would say, and I wouldn't spend a lot of money on it because it's going to fall apart eventually. But you just brush their mane and tail like you would brush your own hair.
So you start at like the bottom, work your way up. You don't want to start at the top and work your way down.
Just
Okay.
brush it like you brush your own hair. Or
Now, do you guys use mane and tail?
when I wash, yes,
I
when
thought
you
about
wash the
that.
horses, you use the mane and tail, and there's also a spray. It's called Show Sheen. And
What? Wait, say that again.
Show Sheen.
Shoshin.
It's by a mane and tail, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
I use that at the shop.
I know. I heard it, and I was just like, it sounded like
I'll tell you
Gangnam
one
Style
thing, it's
all over
great
again.
at the shop when there's static electricity in the
yeah.
air.
Oh, okay.
It's
I know what
dry.
you're talking about.
I spray it on there so the hair doesn't cling to all my tools.
Mm-hmm.
I have to wipe Chris off all the time, but it's okay.
Oh my gosh!
It
I have a
makes
fur
sense.
coat every single
Clings to my
time.
tool. I don't think you really understand.
I don't think so either.
Okay.
I was just gonna pass through it.
No, we weren't gonna let that happen.
So, do you ever braid?
Oh yeah, I love doing things with their hair. It's really fun to braid their. It's just so many different things you can do because there's so much of it, and it's just so long.
You have 9 kids.
Okay. Do horses shed?
Yes, they do shed just like dogs. They have summer and winter coats. There's different grooming tools that you would use during the summertime opposed to the wintertime, and it's very important It's very important again to groom before you ride them because of all that extra hair, and it can get. I just assume that it would be extremely uncomfortable for them if you think about it, how it would feel to you. Obviously, they have a stronger resilience to pain than we do, but
It's just more of making sure you want to make the horse as comfortable as
Yes.
possible.
if there's something aggravating the horse, that it's going to affect their mood and how they behave. And so it's important to make sure that your horse is comfortable.
It's kind of like with most women. If they're having a bad hair day, they're just pissed off or mad
Exactly.
for the rest of the day. Whoops.
Well, we're still rated G, even
Okay.
with that.
Okay.
We lose a couple points because
You guys
of our
are rated
special
G?
guest. Yeah, actually, we are.
Wow.
We are.
Who did you have to pay to do that?
No, this is not the graduation again.
Okay, remember, these people don't know us on the
Oh, right.
personal level.
Right.
So,
I'm sorry.
Some do.
some do, yes.
Some do.
And some have become very good friends.
Yeah, I mean, we keep it light, but we do actually have a rated G just so that everybody can listen in their car, at work.
When Chris is done droning on, we'll get back to the.
You know what? I got the big
So-
professional mic. Shut up.
Yes.
After
I
you,
wish you could see him right now.
you
guys.
brush them out when you're supposed to, get them clean when you're supposed to, do you ever clean their ears out?
I'm sure that's done, but I've never done it. Just like I guess it does. It should be done. I don't know. I've never really thought about it honestly. It's mainly like just cleanliness, and then you just always make sure that if you ride your horse really hard, then you need to make sure you give them a bath. Make sure that.
Why would you need to bathe them after a hard workout?
Well, because the horses get very, very sweaty, very wet.
Yeah.
And so, just like a dog, I guess, do dogs sweat? I don't
No,
think they
dogs
do.
don't sweat.
No, they don't sweat. I know there's another animal that gets sweaty.
Humans.
Yeah, I guess, you do shower after you get all sweaty, but
I do.
some
showers?
don't.
Well, every so often. Once a week at least. Not when you come over. It's trying to get you to leave.
I remember you were the one that brought me here, so I don't even know why you're whining.
I brought you here for a gift for my daughter.
Yes,
You're
well,
like
really
it's
sad.
like renting a pony. I brought you here so you can entertain the
See, guys,
kid.
I'm so much fun. It's like renting a pony.
That's it.
There's a joke there, and I'm not going
You
there.
better not. You better not.
There is a huge joke there, and I'm
Don't
not
do
going
it.
there. So you don't really clean out ears, even though it can be done. I can only imagine see the size of that cotton ball.
It's not a cotton ball. It's a whole bag you mix together, put it right in the ear, turn it, bring it out.
They're still wild animals, and so there's sometimes like with farm animals. I guess you could classify them as farm animals. You don't go and you don't do all the same things you do with a dog when you bring a dog in to be groomed, because you don't keep them inside your home, and they're not. They're used to being outside. They're used to this kind of thing.
I thought I saw Mr. Ed sleep in the bed with Wilbur.
There's another joke there I'm not going to go with. So, how much does a horse eat? Is it constant? Is it just now and then?
They will eat constantly if you just leave food in front of them all day. Some of them will, some won't.
They just gorge?
Some will, yes. Some will just eat until they die. But other horses, it just depends on their personality, I guess.
What's the best diet for them?
I would say the best diet would be to keep the consistency of their hay. Keep a consistent amount of hay. Don't change the amount that they are fed. Give them a flake in the morning and a flake at night. Generally, a flake of hay.
What if you end up being flaky?
Why are you even here?
Why are you even talking?
I don't know.
Why are you even here? I think he feels excluded from the conversation, and he doesn't.
Not really. I just wanted to say something stupid.
That's every time you open your mouth.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
This never ends, folks. This is how they are when they get together. I had to sit in between both of them at Claire's graduation.
That was fun, though.
It was a great time.
I enjoyed that.
It's not my fault they were so boring.
All right.
We had to entertain ourselves somehow.
Oh, that's it.
I was entertained by the light-up awards.
Yeah, the light-up awards with the cheesiest light-up awards you get at.
Awesome.
I think they were made out of plastic.
I don't know, but
I remember the one kid broke his when he got to the seat.
Oh, no, it just came out of its stand. He had to put it back in the stand. But
I like my story better.
Try to stay on task.
It's never going to happen.
Nope.
I don't even know why you're trying.
A bunch of shenanigans around here.
Shenanigans.
And you know what's great? You and I are drinking. I'm drinking a 13-year-old, according to our expert, a 13-year-old's alcoholic beverage. I don't know what you did at 13.
We do not
I'm so sorry.
Underage drinking.
I recall earlier hearing this ridiculous man who just looks even more ridiculous than he sounds.
Will?
Oh, no. He's fantastic in every way. However...
You just put him at the bottom of a river.
What?
She left this poor man.
He's at the lake, folks. He's at the lake. Don't say what you're about to say. Don't do it. Don't. He's at the lake, having a good time, and Chris just takes that to another level.
He's at the lake with concrete boots, and let's leave it at that.
I was thinking all-male cast on a yacht.
Oh, wow.
Have you guys seen that new video for that Turn Down for What song? It's hilarious.
No, but I guess we'll see the Will song, or the Will party boat song.
He's
sometime.
in love with my boyfriend, guys. He's super jealous of him. That's
Not really.
That's what he does.
So am I. No.
Everyone is, don't worry.
Oh, that's got your attention. There's a guy walking by without a shirt on, of course.
I was noticing the super douchiness.
Oh, that's right. She's already waving her phone number. Speaking of which, her number is...
I can ride a horse!
I do carry a billboard with my phone number on it, according to Chris.
You do, actually. Center of town.
Yes.
Every town in America.
Not just America, folks.
Oh, you've expanded to Canada now.
I've expanded to Canada.
I was thinking Mexico.
And Mexico.
There.
Oh.
And while I was at it, Australia.
Why not?
Why not?
Really?
You like dingoes and stuff?
You just end it with my number. Good day, mate.
So.
Bad.
Continue on. Okay. You want to make sure that the horse has enough hay and the right consistency.
I have a question.
You don't want to constantly change their diet. Same with dogs. You don't want to change their food every time. You want them to be able to get used to something.
Unless they're on super premium dog food like we have over at Shadowwood, then you can kind of switch it without a huge issue. It's not like going from pedigree to high end back to pedigree.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
But
is there a degree of hay that's better than another?
Well, yeah. Any the batch it can be grown poorly. It can be in.
So it's not like a brand.
No. But
Kellogg's makes the best out of the hay.
Yes. Kellogg. Actually, guys, now cereal's not only for your children; it's also for your horses.
Oh god.
I can see you with a horse in your bedroom, and it's eating out of
Why
big.
does it have to be in my bedroom?
I know. That's a good question, actually.
Well, Katana's the size of a
We'll
small horse,
actually
and she climbs up in
discuss
bed.
why it's in your bedroom on another episode on a
different channel.
on a
that has
different
higher
channel.
level.
That's not rated.
Yeah,
so
without a
low.
braided G.
Yeah.
Okay, and then with it being grown poorly or whatnot, do you have risk of buying hay that has bugs in it, or?
Oh yeah,
What kind of bugs?
There are a few different ones from what I heard. So, but if you ever get them with bugs in it, what precautions can one take to make sure you're buying a decent quality hay?
Well, you can look at the hay when you buy it. Obviously, you can look at it. You buy it by the bale, and for instance, at the church, since we had so many horses, we had a semi-truckload delivered.
How much would that cost?
I think it was about $1,500.
Wow.
A month. No, every 2 weeks. I don't remember. It was either every 2 weeks or once a month. Anyway, yeah, it's important to keep it consistent. And then also, horses love grains and oats, but they cannot live on them. I know a lot of people who say, well, my horse won't eat the hay because, well, it's like a child. If they know that they can get away with not eating their dinner and get ice cream, then they're not going to eat their dinner.
You wouldn't suggest giving ice cream to a horse.
I feed them chips and licorice, so why not?
Oh, jeez.
Again, they're in her bedroom, so why not?
Yeah, they do love licorice, that's for sure. And sun chips, they like the salsa sun chips.
Oh, jeez.
Tranquilo is very fond of those.
Wait, say the name again?
Tranquilo. He is a
Tranquilo?
thoroughbred. He's a thoroughbred, and he
Tranquilo.
Tranquilo. In Spanish, it means calm and quiet.
Are you sure it's not some drug lord out of Mexico?
It probably is.
Okay, I was like Tranquilo. What?
Anyways, his name is a joke because it means calm and quiet. Tranquil. He's not. He's the opposite of that. Anyway, yes, don't only feed them grains and oats because they can't live off of that. The horses will refuse the hay if they know that they're going to get the oats. So just you can give it to them as a treat once a day, whatever. I like to, after I ride, if they're good, or especially when you're just working them, if you're lunging, for instance, if they do a good job, give them a reward.
Okay, lunging. What does that mean?
Lunging is when you have a long lead rope attached to your horse, and you basically have them run in a circle around you.
Because lunging in dog terms is completely different.
Okay.
If a dog's lunging towards you, you want to get away.
Oh well, yeah.
And fast.
But yeah, and generally you have some sort of a whip or something, but you don't ever touch the horse with the whip. You follow them with it, and some people snap it in front of them to have them turn around. You never ever hit the horse with it.
Now, for new horse owners, somebody who's looking to go and buy a horse tomorrow, what's the best type of horse you could buy?
It really depends on what you want the horse for, and
Just
they're all
for riding.
different. They're all different. I mean, quarter horses are probably the easiest to train from my experience. They're always more mellow. Arabs have a lot of attitude, but they're also
I've heard
very
that
fun.
too.
Thoroughbreds are very stubborn. They are built for speed, so they're a lot of fun, but you have to be very stern with them. So if they think that they can get away with it, they're going to do it. So
Now,
something that's also very important for anybody who's looking to buy a horse, make sure that it's a dedication. It's not something to be taken lightly. It is a full-time job to have a horse, to properly take care of them. And you have to remember that you can't there's no pound that you can just take them to. Mm. There are horse rescues, but most of them are nonprofit, and most of them don't have the means to take care of the horses they already have. So if you were going to buy a horse, I would, depending on what you're using it for, if you just wanted a horse in your backyard as a pet, something for your kids to be around, whatever, maybe try a horse rescue and take, one of those horses that needs a good home.
Yeah, because I was going to ask that too. There's a lot of issues with people who go out and buy an animal thinking that they're so cool, they're so awesome, and then they get bored with it.
Mm-hmm.
I know it happens to rabbits, hamsters, and then mainly dogs.
And
where,
it's sad.
yeah, they get a puppy for Christmas or their birthday, and they don't want to deal with it because they're so busy with other aspects of life. So when looking to purchase a horse or whatnot, make sure you're in it for the long haul. This isn't just a fly-by-night, hey, I got the land, I'm just going to go get a horse.
Yeah.
How long does a horse live?
It depends on their breed, but also the life that they've had. If they've been taken care of properly, they can live to be... I've had a horse that lived to be about 25, which is actually very old for horses. A lot of them die around between 15 and 20.
Sounds like a rock star.
Anyways.
Hey, we're both from Southern California. We know that life.
All three of us are, actually. Hi, Sarah. I didn't know you were here.
I'm just hanging
Sarah
out.
who?
Hey. That's the country groomer next door. She's very content in the country. We've all seen this.
Chris and I have had a harder time adjusting to this place.
Lifestyle.
Yes. Than Sarah has. Anyway.
They complain and complain.
Why can't there just be a Target? Why is that so hard?
I'm with you.
We're supposed to be getting a Hy-Vee.
See, you don't have to move. We're getting a Hy-Vee. We're probably getting a Target. We're getting a Starbucks. All you have to wait is like 2 years.
100 years? How long did
Two.
How long did it take for them to put a Walgreens here? I mean, really.
Actually, it came in,
or whatever that place
a year
was.
ago, 2 years ago? Oh, CVS?
Exactly.
CVS?
Which one? CVS or
either one,
Walgreens?
I don't know.
We
Walgreens
just
was
got
here.
CVS.
Yeah.
Because we totally need more places to go pick up some drugs.
They don't
That's
even...
right. Well, you can
They
always,
don't
around
even-
here, you can just go to the back of somebody's car. Thankfully, though, we're lucky they stopped that.
So.
Anyways, guys.
Okay. Can it be relatively expensive to own, maintain, and properly care for a horse?
Of course. Especially because you need to have a horseshoer come out, and they're pretty expensive.
Example?
Getting the deworming medications, their shots, those kinds of things, very expensive.
The bug stuff to keep the bugs
You
off.
should. I would always recommend keeping fly spray on them at all times. Well, not so much during the winter; they don't need it as much, but spray them down really good with it because you don't want flies all over you. It's just irritating. They'll just eat at your horse's eyes. So keep their eyes wiped out. They get goo around their eyes, and just like we do, and the flies will just sit there on their eyes the whole time. So
Ew. Why don't they just wipe it off?
Oh, gosh.
I don't know. Why don't they ever think of that? Instead, they stand side by side each other with their face by the other's butt, and they wave their tails back and forth, and it just kind of keeps the flies away.
There you go. There's the answer. I thought of taking their hand and doing it, but whatever.
You know, Chris does the same
Goldfish
thing.
don't have hands, Chris.
Oh, they have fins.
Right.
I won a couple at a carnival. I know.
The only pet he's ever had, guys.
It is the only pet I've ever had. As
He
you're
wasn't
sitting there
loved
with
as a
my
child.
dog on your lap.
Well, she's adorable.
Well, that's because she's mine.
She loves me, and I don't know why she... Apparently, if she's yours, she would be by you, right? Because she's on me whenever I'm here.
You're never here. It's the first time I've seen you in 6 months.
Oh, gosh.
Here we go, guys. Over-exaggerations. He says that he hates me and that we're not friends, and I agree, but at the same time, he really complains a lot that I'm not here enough.
My
Right?
daughter is always crying.
It's always his daughter, but is his daughter out here? No, it's just him.
She's content playing the pony game on my iPad.
Yes.
Then what are you doing here?
I was asked to be here for these shenanigans. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Yeah, you're going to have to pull this together.
I've been trying.
I'm sorry, anyone
Sarah,
who's still listening.
you're the star of this show. I just put it together.
That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
Because we don't want to have to deal with all this stuff.
That's
Hey,
right.
where's the Chris mute button?
I like that.
That's pretty cool.
I like that button.
This
It's my
isn't a
favorite.
full radio station. We can't do that. I guess you could unplug my mic, but...
Do it! Do it!
Ow! He's hitting me!
She's used to
At
it.
least it's not spouse abuse. Woman beater?
I could do better.
All right.
So, do you miss being around the horses since you've been out here? And
I do. It was something that I just really enjoyed doing. It's once you get to know the horses that you're around all the time, it's fun. It's like they do have personalities and they do have different traits about them all of them are different. And so, you know, I've had very painful experiences, but I've also had a lot of fun times, and they're just great animals to be around. And if they're treated right, they're just amazing.
I have a question, and I
no.
never asked you this question.
Oh, no.
No, it's a good question.
I don't know about this.
So you had an ex-boyfriend who worked with horses, and I wasn't sure if you were around for this.
Oh, God.
So this guy was very, very intelligent.
Oh, God.
He would pull on a door that said push,
God.
and still to this day does.
You're making me sound bad.
Well, you did date him.
I was 16, guys. Not my fault.
Yeah, it was definitely your fault. Anyway, were you there when he got kicked?
No.
When
Really?
he worked for that horse ranch?
Yeah, he worked for a horse ranch. I thought you were around for that.
I was, but I don't remember him getting kicked.
Oh, yeah, apparently. Well,
Yeah, he called home saying that he got kicked by a horse.
Did he need money?
well, I guess we have the answer. So it never happened, apparently. Seriously, apparently he got kicked hard enough where it bruised his
back.
ribs and pushed him back.
I would think that would actually crack a rib.
I would think it would do
I've
a
been
lot.
kicked in the ribs and I've cracked my rib. So, I mean, it doesn't. I don't know.
Well, he was a sissy, so that probably didn't happen.
Oh,
Probably
so
not. He was probably looking for some sympathy.
I can't believe it. I keep finding out stories that never happened. I thought I'd ask you.
How do you know him again, Chris?
I don't know.
You know
forgot.
what? He was your boyfriend, and you kept him around here, so
Right.
that's why.
So then,
You can't
Okay.
pull this one together.
It's over now.
It's on.
He brought him up, not me.
so
I didn't say the
heard-
name. If I say the name 3 times, then he appears.
Don't crank this up.
Yeah, that's one.
So when it comes to like the miniature horses that end up having longer hair than the typical standard horses that you see running a pasture, you mentioned that somebody tried to shave them once, or you heard it happen.
There was this one woman that's actually friends with my mom still. She had 3 miniature horses, not ponies, but miniature horses. And
What's the difference?
Really, the ponies are they're different breeds, I guess. I'm not exactly sure.
Because I know there's some that are like low to the ground, some that aren't very low to the ground, and then you got the bigger horses, actual full ground.
Yeah, there's miniature
Full size.
horses and then there's ponies. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, terms of what the difference is. But she had 3 of them, and they're cute. They're small, and I think it would be good for smaller kids to learn things with them because they can't do as much. They've been kicked by them. It doesn't even hurt. It's
Oh, jeez.
little baby kicks. But she was just they were like her kids. So she shaved them. She had the reason I'm against shaving them though is because they always had to wear blankets because they were cold. So there's really, I didn't understand why she would shave them down.
Does it do anything? Does it do anything to their coat?
It makes their coat. They look nice, and you can see their the color, the colors of their coat better, because it's it's flat and it's smooth. But you want to get down, Bill? Okay. But again, when you shave, the hair grows back thicker and faster, and it's different from how it would normally be if you hadn't been shaving it. So
Again, that's quite a lot like dogs. If you take a husky or a Akita that are normal length hair, sometimes there's a recessive gene in the Akita and you get long-haired Akita, which is terrible. It's very hard to keep brushed. But if you take a regular Akita or a regular husky and you shave them down, their hair is going to grow back wacky. So...
yeah, so
don't shave your horse.
Yeah, I just wouldn't recommend it. There's really no reason for it. They're not overheating. Obviously, it's hot and like Elsinore, where where I lived for a long time, it gets to be like 100.
Would you like to give your address?
It's your mom's house.
Oh.
Anyway, it got to be like 115 degrees, if not more. So it's hot, but they can handle it. They just don't like it. They'll fight over the shade underneath the trees and things like that. They shouldn't be left in direct sunlight. They should be able to have the option to be in the shade. But their coats are thin enough to where they're not overheating, so you don't need to shave them down. And then during the wintertime, it's thicker, and they shouldn't be left out in the snow. They should have a barn or something, but
It never snows in Lake Elsinore, does it?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
It doesn't get that cold.
Well, you are in the country. Lake Elsinore is kind of the country for Southern California.
More the ghetto than the country.
Ghetto country?
But it's not bad. It's really not. It's actually getting a lot better. It's not as many dead people now.
Oh, well, that's
not
good.
as many drive-bys and whatnot. Anyway.
Wait. If there's horses, do they ride by?
No, if there's not...
That'd be kind of fun. I like to see that. I like to start to see that. If they stop the drive-bys, just ride a horse, old cowboy style, that'd be awesome.
I do love playing Cowboys and Indians. It's pretty fun.
Do you know what TMI? Again, rated G.
Cowboys and Indians on the horses. It's a good time, okay? Chris,
okay,
shut
I've
up.
seen people cut their horses' tails short.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good or bad idea?
It doesn't really matter. Sometimes it's for a lot of times that's for show, like for show horses.
Faux show.
They do that. Some people just don't want it to be there. Sometimes they shave them, and sometimes it's because they've been injured somehow. One of our horses was attacked by a cougar and sliced his tail, and part of it had to be amputated. So it was just it doesn't grow hair now on that part because we had to cut it off. Or have it cut off. We didn't do it ourselves. But, anyway.
Alright. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just playing.
Oh, okay.
Chris is left. Thank God. Now we can get to the point here.
The things you don't know about Chris. Let's start with 1.
Oh, hold on.
They were intrigued.
Go on.
Let's see. What else? What else do you not know about horses that you would love to know?
Well, I mean, I love horses a lot. I do love them. I mean, I make the joke and everything, but they are really pretty horse. Horses are pretty in all aspects. I'd go to Los Alamitos racetrack just to be able to see them because I didn't have the luxury of seeing them in the city. The only way you would see them is at a racetrack, which, it's not the nicest treatment of horses. That's obvious, but I don't know. It intrigues me. It intrigues me what you have to do. Coming from the grooming aspect, we're grooming, dogs all the time. It's just like, what? I don't know. There's so much that, like I said, I'd love to have an expert, but we got to settle for you.
Oh well. Yeah, I said I'm not an expert, but I just have learned a lot by being around them, and it's a lot of it is
Yeah, I really honestly think having this third mic has thrown off the groove because I think her mic is having a problem catching it. So I'm sorry if you guys are having problems hearing her too much. I'll turn it up a little bit, but anyway.
Turn it up?
Yes. Yours is going to pick up. Yeah, I'm just looking at the screen in front of me, and yours is
Obviously,
low.
Obviously, this wasn't very well tested beforehand.
We thought of it
technical.
today. We thought of it today.
It was the last minute thing, guys. I'm sorry. Sorry about Chris's.
Lack there of professionalism.
I was thinking of incompetence.
I was going to say something along those lines.
You know what?
I love you, honey. I love you so much.
I would divorce both of you if I had a chance.
I'm divorced to begin with, so that's just.
I could do so much better than you. So why would I? Gosh.
I don't even know why you're with him.
I don't know why she's with me either.
You're just a terrible person.
Thank you.
Have you introduced yourself?
No, because it's rated G.
Just checking. Well, we're gonna skip a story, guys. Let's move on.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Move on.
Well, I just
So if you ever have enough land and stable or whatnot.
Well, now are you calling her? Are you saying if she'll be stable or have a stable? I'm just making sure she's
graduating college, getting her career going. Will you ever own another horse if you could?
I've never actually owned my own horse, but I would love to have some horses. And you shouldn't only have one horse. You should always have more than one because they're social animals. They don't like to be alone. They should have someone to bond with. And usually, if you have two horses together, they'll end up being very, very close.
I
think she's piggybacking off of your mic.
I think so.
Why don't you scoot in?
Without ripping the...
It'll be fine.
Here, hold on.
Just so that we could get a little bit more of her.
I know there's some horse owners who end up getting like a dog to run with them.
Yeah. Some dogs really enjoy being around horses. They just find it fun. Some horses don't like the dogs. You know, every horse is different.
I think it's just you. I think you just come off very low tone.
Well, mine does too. There's a lot of times when he tells me I have to speak up.
Yeah, you guys both do.
He's got more of a high-pitched voice.
I have a radio
He's
voice.
pretty girly, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's another joke there.
There's so many jokes all the time.
You know what? This is what I get. I get to be the joke for these two.
He begs for it, guys. Don't let him fool you.
Oh, yes.
He
Please
begs for it.
send donation to the Chris Green Foundation for help from the abused of women.
Abused women. Yes, we are abused.
Abused by women.
Our eyes are
Abused
being
by
abused
women.
As we sit here.
You know, it's funny. When you actually mentioned how multiple horses, I was thinking of Lauren.
Multiple what?
Horses. I was thinking of Lauren. I won't use her last name.
Oh, yes.
But, you know, I'm always watching her things. And part of this whole process was, I was thinking, boy, you know, she has a lot of horses. The Rolla Saddle Club, you know, as well.
Yeah.
Just different, you know, interactions that I have with people locally here. I was thinking about them and horses. And then, of course, there was the whole Craig thing with chickens and how that plays into this and nothing.
Maybe we can get an episode going with how to raise chickens properly with Peg.
I doubt that's a good idea.
Did you tell him I'm not going to marry him?
Okay, folks. This girl has offered to marry a few guys here in town. We won't come over to names.
I thought this was G-rated. Why are you making me sound like such a bad person?
Anyway, but for now, we'll keep it as what?
Nothing.
What?
She didn't realize that you took your mic, you moved your mic.
She touched me.
Oh. You know, it's just, you know, this will be one of our longest episodes, and it's just nothing.
It's
absolutely nothing.
The whole time. Oh my god,
I'm
it's like
sorry,
Seinfeld
folks.
right now.
Beforehand, when we first brought up the idea of doing this podcast,
It'll become the lost episode that'll never air.
we had a plan. We're like, yeah, let's talk about this, let's talk about that. That's awesome. Get that
I
information.
told you we should have written down the key points.
I gave you the iPad to write. You know what it said on it? Everything I wrote. Episode regarding horses, ... You never wrote a thing.
Claire wanted to play the game.
Oh, boy. It's always my daughter's fault. Have you noticed that?
Our child does dictate our life.
That is true. So this episode will never air, never see the light of
Well, then
day.
we can say whatever we want.
No, we can't.
Oh,
Just in
really?
case. Just in case I ever do just slip up and go, oh, I'm going to put it on there anyway.
I think we're going to put this on, yes. Anywho.
I'm sure we'll get a lot of people going, I like the episode. Didn't make any sense, but I loved the
It's
episode.
entertaining, but pretty sure they didn't know what they were talking about.
I said it from the beginning. I said a disclaimer. The person that we have is incompetent.
He's using my words against you.
He so is. He just took your words. And you know what? Did you just see that? Did you see that on a billboard and just wanted to use it somewhere?
Yeah, yours. I'm incompetent. Please marry me.
I never say no.
Chris, why don't you just go home before you hurt yourself?
I am home.
Go
I'm
inside.
still in my garage.
Go inside before you hurt yourself.
No, you're kind of out of the garage a little.
You're
No,
halfway
I'm
up.
still in the garage.
You're always on both sides. It's all right. It goes either way.
I'm not your mom.
Your mom does. Oh, there's a big fatty spider crawling down.
Oh my god.
No, it's crawling up.
Can we kill the spider, please?
No.
She said, can we eat it?
Can we kill the
She
spider?
did say it. You know, you're.
No, I don't like spiders. Kill it.
You know, we're sitting here. You and I have had a wine cooler, and yet she's had iced tea. Not a Long Island iced tea, just an iced tea.
Unsweetened, nonetheless.
I know. And I've had that. It's the worst.
Absolutely delicious.
Oh, it's the worst.
Bitter.
It's, yeah. All right, so what else do you have to tell us? Because we really are far into this.
How long has it been anyway?
You've been talking. Well, both of you have been talking. I haven't been talking for 59
Clearly.
for 59 minutes.
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah, we're way up there.
Then we probably should wrap this up because we still got a little one to take a shower and
I gotta take that one home. Actually, you can walk from here, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, other people.
Can give you a ride.
There you go.
Chris's twin.
My twin.
Yes, well, most people with mental disabilities resemble Chris.
Very true.
So why don't you
I
know?
married him for the deduction.
I told you, folks. Chris Green, Abused by Women Foundation, P.O. Box. Anyway, all right. So, in closing, is there anything that you think people should know who do have a horse that maybe they don't know, or people who are looking to buy a horse? Of course, after this discussion, I'm pretty sure we've discouraged everybody from buying a horse.
That is a tick. Dang it! There's a tick on Belle.
Ew. Well, at least it's on her and doesn't climb onto me.
I'll pull that off in a minute.
You know what? We need to do an episode on ticks.
They cause Lyme disease, folks.
Yeah, they do.
That's true. That's not just a myth.
No, it does It does cause Lyme disease.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, in closing, anything that you want to say that might help people?
Remember, this is the last chance you have to
Forever,
straight.
because we'll never have you again.
Thank God.
You'll never listen to an episode either. There's only 27 episodes. Well, by the time this is up, 28 episodes.
In case you couldn't count.
Well, it did 28th
29.
episode. This is episode 29.
Well, we really should start rehearsing these things.
We actually do just fine.
Well, I mean, I'm not seeing. I feel like
Hey, have you not heard radio shows in LA? They have no content
it's
whatsoever.
fine, and that's why it's great.
That's why it's perfect. All right, go ahead. Last thing you want to say before I put you out of your misery.
Well, honestly, I just feel like horses should be treated with care. They're not just, they're not just animals. They're not just used for riding. They do have personalities, and they do form attachments to you if you are with them a lot. They'll form attachments, but make sure that you just properly take care of them. As far as grooming, you feed them the right way. Water, for one thing, you always need to make sure you clean their water buckets, especially like on a daily basis. Give them fresh water.
Because you don't want that algae building up.
Well,
Oh yeah, the algae. I didn't know. We didn't get. Did you get the algae done?
No, I didn't. You've been
I gotta hear about the algae.
Well, it's very important to clean the water buckets because the horses are always they're always putting, whenever they put their mouth in the water, the bacteria on their mouth and on their face goes into the water. So especially when it's hot out, it gets since the water's warm, the bacteria grows faster, and it will. And within, if you don't clean it for more than if it goes longer than a day without being cleaned, then the algae will start turning red, becomes irritated, and it becomes toxic to the horses.
I thought that was so weird. It turns red. That's just.
I knew that. I knew the algae turning colors from how they made vitamins from algae. How it's made.
I never knew that. Oh, the show, how it's made. Oh wow. Okay.
So
Clean the
just
water
make sure
bucket.
you clean their water buckets. You just scrub them out. Use a little bit of bleach and use a scrub brush, and make sure you get all the bleach out of the bucket, because obviously that's dangerous to them as well. So make sure that. And
Allergies are
always,
killing me.
If they're in a stall, if they're in the pasture, you don't have to worry about it. But if they're in a stall, you have to make sure you clean the stall. They can't be walking around in the manure, and in wet dirt either. They need to have dry ground.
Because then you get infections in the hood.
Right, they can get
Did you ever go to medieval times?
the theme park?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The theme show.
Yeah, I think so. I think I went there once as a kid.
I loved medieval times. You went to, Sarah.
Twice.
Oh yeah. Was it once?
Once at a company party.
Yeah, I loved it because I loved watching the horses up close. I mean, again, it's the city life. You mean, here's Knott's Berry Farm, literally almost across the street. You're not going to see horses, and then you see these cool horses or training outside. That was cool. I loved watching them. They would train the horses there.
Folks that live out more in the country that has been raised with the horses and other large animals have a little different take on them as we do, since we have this concrete metropolis.
Concrete metropolis mentality, yes.
So the only time we ever get to see any animals is at the fair or.
Well, we used to remember OC Fair, Orange County Fair. Every year would have a whole 4-H area. It was, oh gosh, I miss it.
the fair.
Oh, it's coming up too.
I know.
But they have the greatest area of all 4-H.
So the petting part where you
Yep.
go in and feed the llamas and stuff. Pay $1 for all this, grain that you get to go feed them, and that was awesome. My shirt got half ate by one. But
Anyway, of course, off topic. But see, we're almost. It's majestic, I guess, to see an animal like a horse. Even having chickens. My allergies are killing me.
I can tell.
Oh.
Yeah, since we don't get to see them very often.
Oh, cat fight. Somewhere.
Cat fight all the time.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. That's what happens.
Folks, make sure spay, neuter.
Yeah.
Cats, dogs, fix them so we don't have an overpopulation any more than what we already have.
And of course, with all kinds of strays out there, the feral cats is what I meant to say. With feral cats, TNR, trap, neuter, release. That is such a good program. But anyway, that's of course off of the horse area.
I think we kind of had it for a hodgepodge of an episode.
Yeah, this is pretty much what it's like every time this little Emily girl comes in. Now again, thank you for doing this show with us. We appreciate it. Thank you again for letting us have this time and finding a babysitter to watch all 9 kids. That's gonna cost her a lot.
Oh my god.
Wow, that cat fight is
That is like
intense.
right behind the house across the street. Yeah. So, huh?
It's gotten real.
It got real around here. All right. Well, that's the end of episode 29. I'm Chris Green. Have a puptastic day, and my allergies are killing me.
I didn't know he was this corny, honestly.
Corny, yeah.
Cheesy, whatever.
Your mom.
I'm Sarah Green, making sure everybody understands that life is short. Play with your pet.
Bye.
Your mom.
Okay, gotta go in my bedtime.